History has always been fascinating, from society to political to literature. Yes, literature has its fascinating points, and today we're going to cover some really interesting questions like the top 5 most sold books in history. Number 5. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Originally published in 1939, And Then There Were None has sold over 100 million copies. And Then There Were None has had more adaptations than any other single work by Agatha Christie. Friday the 3rd, December 1926, the great mystery author Agatha Christie simply vanished. She walked out of her Berkshire home late after 9:30 p.m. and just drove off into the night, which sparked one of the largest manhunts in UK. 11 days later, the Evening Standard revealed she was staying at the Hydro Hotel in Harrogate under the alias Mrs. Teresa Neal. Bizarrely, Nancy Neal was the name of Archie's mistress, her husband. Doctors diagnosed Agatha Christie with amnesia, and she never publicly spoke about the missing 11 days. Number 4. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Originally published in 1937, The Hobbit sold over 100 million copies. In the original version of The Hobbit, there were 3 types of hobbits with different physical characteristics and temperaments. You had the Harfoots, Stoors, and Falahides. The Harfoots, they were the smallest in stature and the most typical of the race as described in The Hobbit. They lived in holes and smeals, and had close relationships with dwarves than other hobbits. Stoors, they had an affinity for water, dwelt mostly beside rivers, and were the only hobbits to use small boats and swim. Males were able to grow beards. Tolkien himself referred to them to say they were less shy of men. Falahides, generally fair-haired and tall, at least for hobbits, they preferred the forest and had links with elves, and were more adventurous than other breeds. Number 3. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Originally published in 1997 with over 120 million in book sale. J.K. Rowling sent her book to an agent and a publisher with not much result and a lot of denials. And then the second agent she approached spent a year, well over a year, trying to sell the book to publishers, most of whom thought it was too large and way too long, at about 90,000 words. Barry Cunningham, who was building a portfolio for distinctive fantasies by new authors for Bloomsbury children's book, recommended accepting the book. And his 8-year-old daughter of Bloomsbury chief executive said it was so much better than anything else. So if it wasn't for that little girl, we wouldn't really have a Harry Potter. Number 2. Le Petit Prince, The Little Prince, by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Published in 1943 with well over 140 million sold. Antoine de Exupéry, which is hard enough to pronounce, so if I'm butchering it, my bad. It is what it is. I just can't do it. He was a well-known fighter pilot. And after he wrote Le Petit Prince, which translates to The Little Prince, as part of a 32-ship military convoy, he voyaged to North Africa, where he rejoined his old squadron to fight with the Allies. He's on the French side, resuming his work as a reconnaissance pilot despite his best efforts of his friends, colleagues, and fellow airmen who could not prevent him from flying. So everyone didn't want him to go. He had previously escaped death by very slim margins. He's a very lucky man. And he also has a great book coming out. And before he even saw a single royalty, he was lost in action July 1944 during a spy mission from the moonscapes of Corsica to the continent in preparations for the Allied invasion of occupied France. So he was actually going there to help. only 3 weeks before the liberation of Paris. So, true war hero, true great soldier, and just an unfortunate demise. Hey everyone, just so you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and so that way you get more of our stuff, and make sure you hit that little bell on the upper right so you're notified. And if you want to see more of what we do here at Write It Out Radio, check us out at writeitoutradio.com, or follow us on Facebook. Come on, bring it on in. We do all kinds of live stuff on Facebook, so you could have a chance to talk to me and talk to my staff. So Facebook would be write.it.out.radio. write.out.radio.com at Facebook. That's Facebook. Now on to the number one spot. And number one, The Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien. The Lord of the Rings was originally published in 1954 and 55 and sold over 150 million copies. So, crazy to think about, but J.R.R. Tolkien is on this list twice. So within the top 5 most sold novels and books, he's there 2 times. And crazy, although Tolkien is a very well-beloved British icon, the influential author was actually born in South Africa. John Ronald Reuel Tolkien moved to England with his mother and brother in 1895.